everyone. Ooh, the music is playing loud in my ears, so I'm speaking a little louder than I wanted to. How's everyone doing? Let me just cut the music here. Thank you for coming. I need one little swig of water to be really ready for this. If that's something I should do, I should get in the habit of muting myself so you don't have to hear that. Something I want to let you know. Remember how last week I accidentally forgot to set the latency of the stream to low? Well, tonight I didn't just put it to low. I put it to ultra low. That's right. So hopefully this won't be a huge mistake that I'll end up regretting later. But we should have some fun. I feel good for tonight's stream. I want to keep the banter to a minimum because I really want to play Stardew Valley at least one day, and I don't want the stream to go long. My goal is for these streams to last roughly an hour. So yeah, what did I want to talk about before we really begin, though? Wait, oh there it is. I'm trying a new setup, and this should overall help the quality of the show. Yeah, I don't know to what extent you're aware of this or not, but Elon Musk, you may have heard of him. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast recently, and he he made a surprisingly compelling argument. Hey Francois, hey Benki, glad you're here. I was listening to Elon Musk's appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast, and during it, he made an argument for carbon tax that I found unsettlingly compelling. Like, I've been opposed to a carbon tax on principle for as long as I've been aware of what a carbon tax is and have had these principles. And God damn it, Elon said the two magic words. And as soon as I heard him say those words, I said out loud, God damn it, he's right. I wouldn't trust the government to do it. But there's one thing I will say. I won't tell you what the magic words are because whenever I argue about libertarianism with anyone, no one ever says those words. So you got to do the work. You already have all the information you need to find that clip. But one thing that is for sure is that markets are really good at solving problems, but something that you need for that is a price. And right now, carbon emissions don't have a price. And no matter what you think of government coercion, that like without a price on that, it's hard to see how the market could adapt to such realities without the hand wavy like, oh, we'll let innovation solve it, which will probably end up being true in the long run. I don't really doubt that, but it sounds kind of like it sounds hand wavy, you know. Another thing I want to do, I've upgraded my infrastructure. I won't do this right now. I'm gonna do a stress test later on in the show because I've noticed that when I watch YouTube videos on stream, the whole stream becomes choppy. Thank you very much for sticking around for this. I didn't know it was that bad, and hopefully the stress test that I will do later will yield good results because if if the stream becomes choppy now with my upgraded internet and my new router, then the problem is my PC, which would be a huge kick in the teeth. I hope that's not the case, but I won't test it now for reasons that I will elaborate on later. So, as I said before, I want to keep a banter to a minimum because, worst case, I'll play like 2 days of Stardew Valley at the end in case this stream ends up going much quicker than I thought. But I wanna err on the side of caution for this. How many unnecessary windows do I have open? Uh, this one I will need. Yeah, basically I'm gonna get right into the first segment. So let me mute this. Actually, this brings up a topic that I don't know how it's going to be really complicated for me to deal with this, but I've been listening to my own videos, before uploading them recently, and I've noticed that I do a lot before I start a sentence, and it kind of annoys me. And I can understand how it would annoy someone else, but that's you know minimizing the amounts of times you say and that's something that you can really that's relatively easy to deal with at the conscious level, especially if you know the trick that you just remain silent instead of saying but whatever part of my brain makes my tongue go before I start speaking, that runs deep. That's probably lizard brain shit, and not monkey brain shit. So it's going to be hard for me to deal with that. But we'll see. So let me prepare the first segment here. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, yeah. So, where are you? Copy link. Yeah, this should go well. Like that. Copy link. To this. Stream is still smooth. Yeah, I noticed it buffered for a second there. That's actually cool. I don't mind short ones like that. What I would mind is if the whole stream became choppy. I guess that's part of the reason that the latency is there at all. But hey, we're doing it live, baby. Didn't restart the stream last week. I won't restart the stream this week. All right. I think I have everything I need. Okay. One last swig, clear my throat a little, and we can get started. Thanks, Francois, for volunteering to just let me know. I mean, if it becomes choppy, there isn't much I can do, but I would like to know. And yes, I did catch myself going just before saying that. I'll refer you to the previous 2 seconds of this stream or whatever. All right. Let me start recording. Oh yeah, for those of you who are just joining for the first time, I'm doing the. It's a pretty standard format where you live stream and you record clips of yourself streaming, and then upload those clips as separate YouTube videos. I've already made my thumbnail for tonight's main event. I'll give y'all a little sneak peek later because I'm happy with it. All right, let's do this. As you've probably heard, Gina Carano got fired from Disney last week for some controversial shit, and actually, it plays in a broader pattern of behavior that I think is fair to call on. Now, as a reminder to those of you who aren't familiar with this channel, you can't read someone's mind, no matter how badly you would like to believe that you can, you can't. And if you want to deduce what someone's inner thoughts and feelings are, you have two ways to go about it. You can either go with consistent patterns of behavior, or you can watch out for red flags and keep in mind how many red flags are too much for you personally, you know? And as far as Carano goes, there had been some tweets which I don't have, things like anti-mask stuff, pro-Trump stuff, the kind of shit that is reasonable to expect would get you in trouble in Hollywood in general, right? And I'm gonna focus on the straw that broke the camel's back. This thing, which she shared in her stories. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Yeah, there we go. So I'll read it anyway. I'm assuming that you're already familiar with this. So there's, this picture from Nazi Germany, and it reads, Jews were beaten in the streets not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. And I just noticed these quotes. I don't know who she's quoting. I'm assuming these are typos, but the quotes are there. It reads, because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? And long story short, there was like a Fire Gina Carano that became that went trending on Twitter and shit like that. And shortly thereafter, she was fired. Now, the bottom line is, as I said earlier, you can never opine or know what's in someone else's mind, right? The thing to know is whether you like it or not. It was just a really bad take, and I was talking about this with a friend of mine last week. He's actually here in the chat tonight. Hello. And I told him like that was a really bad take. As a matter of fact, I'll say more specifically what I think. This last sentence here, how is any of that different? How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? She overplayed her hand right there. You could scrap that last sentence, and it would still be like edgy and borderline problematic. You're still open to the suggestion. Sorry, you're still open to the criticism that you're making light of the Holocaust, but at least you leave more to be you leave more room for plausible deniability. Now, yeah, the when I said to my friend like that this was a bad take, he followed up with, well, is she correct? And honestly, the accuracy of that take is irrelevant to the matter at hand because it for a show like The Mandalorian that you're on, I would say The Mandalorian is arguably the most popular show in at least the Western world since like Game of Thrones. You being a character in that show, you can't really separate yourself. Like whether you should or shouldn't is a different conversation, but the bottom line is when you are part of such a huge project with such massive exposure, you're kind of representing the brand. And at that point, specifically, according to Investopedia in October, Disney is the second biggest company in the world right now, at hundreds of billions of dollars. Okay, and when you're when you're working with people like that, and you're like it or not, she's fucking comparing herself to the Jews in Nazi Germany. I mean, the the implication was there from the beginning, but that last sentence fucking cements it, right? And it's really easy to understand, to me anyway, how a meeting table surrounded by executives who don't really give a fuck about her would choose that, to save the brand, you need to cut ties with her. It's so understandable. I get it. It was a really bad take. I mean, again, can you imagine how? What if I? Can you imagine how insufferable I would be to hang around if every time something didn't go my way, I would make some comparison to slavery? Like, and I'm sure that there are all sorts of accurate analogies that I could make to slavery, but that's not that's just not a good thing to just hammer down. Like the whole criticism that she's making light of the Holocaust, I think that on either extreme, I think it's bad. Like the extreme that I just alluded to, where you're kind of comparing everything to it. I don't think that would. I don't think that that's a good thing. Even though in the abstract, like freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom of association. You can say whatever you want, as long as there's no clear and present danger, and you're not like inciting violence and that kind of thing in a clearly present way. Then it's fine, right? But at the same time, it's just good to be worth the trouble, you know. And I can understand that, like during an election year in your country, to express your support for a particular political candidate would could cost you like some brownie points. I think that if you're going to spend some of your brownie points to advance your ideology, I think that is a much more fair thing to do. But when you slip into darker territory, like comparing yourself to Jews in Nazi Germany. That's the kind of thing I could totally understand how someone in that theoretical board of Disney executives would consider that one red flag too many and say, "Hey, we got to save the show. We don't want to be the show with the girl who compared herself to Jews in Nazi Germany." So yeah, I think that as far as freedom of association goes, I'm totally for it. Um, yeah, I'm as close to a free speech absolutist as you'll find, and I'm as close to a freedom of association absolutist as you'll find. Um, I was thinking about this earlier. I would be very curious to see how many people, no, of the people who criticize Carano for making light of the Holocaust. And let's say that of those people, let's just consider the subgroup of people who are associated with a multi-billion-dollar company like CNN or MSNBC or whatever. I'd be curious to know how many of those people compared Trump to Hitler, how often, and it's again the for the in the context of this conversation, the accuracy of these comparisons is irrelevant. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, it would be really interesting for me to find out. Now, on another note, I realized while thinking of this, and this is why I'm making this a segment instead of just glossing over it at the beginning of this stream, Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. If you're still watching, we'd love to have you here. I was I was in a similar situation myself. And I just want to preamble this. This is a very, 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 very microscopic version of a situation similar to Gina's. So, as some of you may know, as a matter of fact, I think everyone here live knows this. I've been doing improv comedy for I think 5 years now. I lost count. COVID kind of screwed up everyone's perception of time. And if you do improv comedy in English in the Montreal area, there are only two places you could do it. One of them is Theatre St. Catherine, which I often refer to as TSC. That's what I mean when I say that. The other one is Montreal Improv. And I started at TSC and later on started getting involved with Montreal Improv. Best decision in my improv career. So many cool opportunities came directly from that. So good shit. Good shit. However, I've been a libertarian for much longer than that, and I know when I'm getting involved with like getting involved in the arts with people who are much more progressive than I am even today. So I can only imagine back then, right? So the bottom line is when I realized that some of the shit that I was saying on this channel could potentially get me in trouble. Like honestly, at TSC, I'm golden there. I have such a good relationship with the theater and the people there. For me to get canceled at TSC, I would have to do something really bad, like unbelievably bad. But the threshold for Montreal Improv is much lower. And I know this isn't just in my head. I remember when I was there were people much more progressive than I am who were as worried, if not more, than me of getting canceled. So I decided to put the channel on hold. And yeah, as soon as Montreal Improv went out of business, that's when I relaunched the channel shortly thereafter. And explain this, I didn't promote the video because no one would care except for super fans that I already had. So the the bottom line. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that was absolutely the right decision because as I've covered earlier on this channel, I said some really dumb things about Charlottesville, and had someone challenged me at the time, I would have doubled down on that shit for sure. And yeah, the last factor that I wanna make sure I convey is that my relationship with the key decision makers at either venue is irrelevant. Just like I'm sure there are people who voted to fire Gina Carano who maybe even are Trump supporters themselves or like her or whatever. But the key question is would these people, if an outrage mob came to them demanding that they cut ties with me, would the decision makers give them what they want despite not personally wanting them and despite personally not wanting to? And the answer is much, much more likely to be yes at Montreal Improv than it was at Theatre St. Catherine, which is why I decided to put this channel on hold. And as a matter of fact, now that Montreal Improv is back under new ownership, and the new owner is actually a friend of mine, it's still the answer is still probably yes. Yeah, and the gambit that I'm making with this channel is that by the time yes you did miss a Gina Carano discussion. You can catch it later. So yeah, the the thing that shit, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about just before? Wait. Yeah, the new owner is a friend of mine, and despite that, it's quite possible that he would end up saying yes to an outrage mob coming at him demanding that they cut ties with me, and yeah, I'm slowly preparing myself for the possibility that when live entertainment becomes a thing again and we can all watch live comedy, that I won't be welcome back at Montreal Improv for something that I haven't even said yet on this channel. So the bottom line is, you know, be careful what you say in public, because whether that should or should not be the case, you kind of are representing your boss. I'm sure that people intellectually know it shouldn't be the case, but it is. Kind of like how you present yourself, how you dress in public, and shit like that. It's the kind of thing that you can appreciate how unimportant it is while your lizard brain still thinks it is. So yeah, that's food for thought. Thank you very much for watching. Hey, if you like this video, give it a like. And I do these live streams every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. I would love to see you here. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Well, that went well. Ah, Lemon Lemonacmelo, thank you for joining us. Hope you stick around. And yeah, I don't know how many. I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to take this political quiz, but this stream might go long. Just to prepare you, like a day in Stardew Valley takes about 10 to 20 minutes depending on what you do and shit. I don't want this stream to last longer than an hour, but I'm absolutely adamant of playing at least a day because I need some at bats, you know? I mentioned this last week. Playing a game on stream is a separate skill that I really want to flex, and I need some at bats. And tonight I'm getting an at bat. I'll get that at bat in front of 0 people if I have to. I hope you do stick around. But yeah, Nocturne, you're right. We do live in a dangerous political environment. You know, it's tough. All right, let me prepare for the. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna do a stress test right now. My stress test is to just watch a YouTube video on stream. You may or you might not believe this, but before I did my first stream, I actually did a stress test where I basically had all programs open and I watched a video on stream, and it seemed fine. And then later on, when I actually do the thing in front of actual people, it becomes choppy as fuck. So I don't know what's causing this. My theory is that when I did the stress test, I started the video immediately, whereas in an actual environment, I'd been streaming for a while, like now. So yeah, I'm just gonna play a couple minutes of something. Let me see here. Where is it? There it is. Okay. The clip itself doesn't matter, but will you sing your jingle? Nah, there's no paint stream tonight. I do appreciate the question, but no, no paint stream tonight. All right, let's just start the video right now. Like on my end, it looks smooth, but it looked smooth last week too. We'll see.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
And now check out Martin Luther King. All right?
Wait, that's actual buffer. This isn't conclusive just yet.
We didn't have black history. All right? Yeah, what we had was called American history. It might as well have been called white history because that's all it was. And even in some cases,
Okay,
whites
we
were
have
being
our feet
given
under
credit
us.
for things they did not invent and for places they did not discover. But we knew, we were told at
Yeah.
home, things like that, but not in schools. So we had to fight. And finally, we got 1 week. It was called Negro History Week. Carter G. Woodson
That is
created that.
crazy.
And schools
Okay.
had Negro History Week 1 week a year.
Let me just see something
We
here.
continued fighting harder and harder.
It's gonna be
Finally,
over
we
soon.
got 1 month.
Oh,
You know, nobody's
wow,
gonna give
yeah.
us everything at one time, right? They dole it out little by little.
That is a real
we got
shame.
That 1 month,
Okay.
shortest month of the year.
Well, that's a shame. All right, well, that concludes that. Let me just go back on full camera here. I did notice my my c- the problem really is on the my computer. Fuck, that sucks. So now if I want to watch videos on stream, I'm gonna have to think of something. This is a game changer, and not in the good way. All right, well, I'll figure it out. But that is clearly not an option. All right, I will just prepare the other thing that I had. Hey, Nicholas Picon, thanks for joining us. Yeah, exactly. The sound is completely unaffected. I noticed that also. But that bit rate is that frame rate is unacceptable. It's unusable. That's one of the reasons why I didn't upload that clip last week. Like I wasn't happy with last week's stream in general, but there was no way I was gonna upload that. All right, I am preparing here. Good. My CPU is catching its breath. Hopefully, this quiz takes me 20 minutes to do. We'll find out. There was something else I wanted to prepare. Yes. Okay. This. Okay. All right. One more swig of water, and then we can do this. Oh, um, lemon Kamalo. I'll answer that question in a sec. So yeah, actually no. By in a sec, I mean now. I had no idea how much like running streaming software on your computer, it kind of like downgrades it a level. So if you have a great computer, then the stream will be a good computer. And I have a good computer, which means on stream, it's well, I have a decent to good computer. So running streaming software downgrades it to a passable computer, which is a shame. I'm gonna have to find another solution. But yeah, that's the answer to that question. I can run all sorts of shit, no problem with it. I mean, I can't play Doom on it, but I can play 3D games on it, no problem. Anyway, let's move on. Oh yeah, and that's part of the reason why the game that I stream is Stardew Valley because it's one of the only games that I can stream like, and it's playable to me and watchable to you. All right, let's get this show on the road. One more swig. Okay. Political quizzes are kind of dumb, but they're really entertaining. They're entertaining for me because you get to think out your values a little more, and you get to play along. So that's fun. The other day, as a matter of fact, last week there was a frenemy of mine posted a quiz on Twitter, asking what kind of leftist are you, and me, being a centrist, slightly right of center, more specifically. More specifically, right there, one tick right of center here. the last time I took this quiz on stream, well, on this channel. So I just want to preamble this. I'm going to take it. It's called the Liberation Values Quiz. And my warning is this: being right here in just right of center, according to this graphic that I refer to a lot, I just want to give the disclaimer that if you are outside of this square right here, well, you can't see my cursor very well. If you are outside of this square right here, I'm going to say a lot of shit that sounds extremely dumb and really crazy to you. Just bear with me. People seem to enjoy me taking the quiz last time, so hopefully you enjoyed this one. And yeah, let's begin. Liberation values. Okay, there's two things I want to say before I get to this. I'm not going to read all this text, but there's one thing that I want to say as opposed to this here. Left unity versus lib unity. I just want to say, like, if you are I'm going to speak in terms of the extreme just to illustrate my point, okay? If you're an ANCOM and you'd rather cooperate with tankies rather than ANCAPs, I have no idea what to say to you. Like, that is so crazy to me. I can't even process that in my brain. If you're not familiar with the term, a tanky is an authoritarian leftist who's so extreme that they will justify Soviet Russia, the USSR, and present day North Korea. Uh, they're that extremist, and if you'd rather ally with those people than ANCAPs, I don't know what to tell you. And for transparency's sake, I feel the same way about ANCAPs who would rather ally themselves with Nazis than with ANCOMs. It's crazy to me, man. Hashtag bottom unity. It's the axis that matters the most to me. I'm gonna take this test. I expect to be market socialist. That's what I'm expecting. Maybe a mutualist. I don't know enough about mutualism, but I hear a lot of really cool takes from people who describe themselves as mutualists. So let's see. You'll be presented with blah. Yes, I understand. I'm about to take this test. I don't know why this is necessary. The only thing, the only way in which I'm gonna try to game this quiz is I will try to almost never answer unsure, neutral. That's kind of a cop out. No one likes that. So let's do it. The workers should own the means of production. I will disagree. Not strongly. I have no problem with worker co-ops, but nah. A stronger state will only subjugate socialism. Thus state socialism is an oxymoron. Now, I don't know what they mean by subjugate socialism, but a a I guess a stronger state would be bad for the left because we're all lefties here, right? Would be a bad thing. So, assuming that, I will strongly agree. I'd rather ally with Rothbard than Stalin. Yeah, absolutely. Holy shit. Co ops are a good way to gradually move into socialism. Okay. Uh, Regardless of what my thoughts on socialism are, I think co ops would be a good thing. I was on record as of a couple minutes ago saying how I have no problem with co work ops. So I'm just going to agree. A welfare state only pacifies the workers, which ends the labor movement. Jesus Christ. Okay. So basically, a welfare state doesn't go far enough. Cringe. Fuck. Okay, let's reason this out. A welfare state only pacifies workers. ends labor movement. I will agree on this. Oh boy. Since anarcho-capitalists and the like believe in voluntary association, there's no reason why we shouldn't take arms with them. I was just making this point. Strongly agree. All hierarchies must be questioned. I'm going to. It's all about earned versus unearned, and what you consider just and unjust. Like, yeah, the if I go to the dentist, the hygienist who cleans my teeth, do they deserve less recognition than the dentist? I would think so. Is that just? I would think so. Is it beyond being questioned? No, I guess not. But this whole all hierarchies must be questioned, I'm going to simply disagree. No, partially disagree. Yeah, that's better. Direct action and the like only hurt our movement. The way lefties do it, maybe, but I think there are good ways to do it, so I'm going to partially disagree. Yeah, direct action only hurts, so I'm going to partially disagree. We must support revolutionary movements abroad. Fuck that shit. Reform doesn't work towards change. I actually agree with this. Like, yeah, I agree. I don't believe in reform. It's sad, but that's what I think. Strong agree. We should use direct action, sabotage, and even violence. You went like no matter what I thought at the beginning of this question, you went right off in the ditch right here. Fuck that shit. So strong disagree. You cannot be socialist. You cannot be a socialist without striving towards social progress. Okay, so are progressives the real socialists? No, I'm gonna disagree. I think you can be, I think you can be a socialist while also thinking that being trans is degenerate. I said that very fascistically, but yeah, I don't see how it follows. Worker ownership of the means of production and gay rights. I I I like gay rights. I'm fine with worker ownership of the means of production, but I don't see how one follows from the other. So I'm gonna disagree. Socialism is the best system that protects traditional values. Ooh, I have no idea. This might be a neutral unsure, but I don't want to say that. Is the best system that protects traditional values. I'm going to go with partially disagree. Socialism will eventually develop into communism. I'm, man, a lot of people feel much more strongly about this than they should. Myself, I am part of that, but I'm still going to just agree. Not soft agree. Yeah, soft agree. Even if a meme, even if a meme, the ideas of a fully automated luxury gay space communism would be ideal. Wow. Ideal? No. Yeah, that actually. Let me just see here. Oh yeah. Okay, wait. Let me just free up some CPU space like that. Come on. All right, we're back. All right, wait. I see myself frozen on stream. I'm just gonna wait patiently. Um, can you hear me in the chat? Cause I just see a frozen frame. Let me just move from side to side. Okay, good. I'm back to normal. Is the video choppy? Because I'm moving my hand right now and I don't see it moving on the stream. Man, that would be really crappy. But I'm recording also, so hopefully the recording will be salvageable. Okay, let me try something here. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how to troubleshoot this without cutting the stream. Let me see here. Yeah, and it's laggy as. Wait, okay. I think I'm back. Okay, good. So now if I do this, we should be back. I'm just gonna wait until I can see this over there. Okay, good. We're back. All right, sorry about that. Um, to those of you watching live, uh, this crash definitely negates the Stardew Valley shit because I'm not even halfway done with this questionnaire. So this show will go long, but after this quiz, I'm out of here. And I'm just going to do this as edit point for myself. And we're back. Sorry about that. My streaming software crashed, but we're back. So, the gay space communism question that I answered before realizing that the software crashed, I answered disagree on that, just for the record. So, the next question. The concept of national liberation is a good concept as we must protect our nations from foreign capital. Uh, I'm not even sure. I I'm not even sure how to process that. So national liberation is good because we must protect our nation from foreign capital. I'm going to just disagree. Fuck fucking capitalism. Hello. There we go. Oh wait, I think I just yeah, okay. So, a genuine free market is only available through a socialist network. You know what? I'm going to partially disagree. Wait, let me just think this through. Um, a genuine free market is only available through a socialist network. Well, it's not the only way, so I'm going to partially disagree, which I think is what I just said. The idea of workers' self management is an idea we should strive for to liberate every worker. Uh, I'm, I'm, I'm genuinely neutral towards this. I hate uh, I hate the I hate answering neutral unsure, but I really am neutral to this, so let's go. Rapid change only results in worse outcomes. I generally agree with this, so I'm going to agree. Companies will never collaborate to help the environment, hence, they should be collectivized or nationalized. Ah, fuck. I love the first part so much. So, we should collectivize. No, I disagree. Like, the problems with pollution wouldn't be solved with worker co ops. So, I'm going to just simply disagree. No government, if there even is one, should bail out corporate power. Hell yeah, strong agree. Corporate lobbying should be banned. Yeah, I agree. Strongly. I wasn't very strong there, but yeah, I'm going to strong agree anyway. I'd rather live in a neoliberal society than a communist one. Hell yeah. As a matter of fact, when I took a right wing values test not long ago, not long after the Sapley values quiz, but I actually ranked as a neolib. So yeah, I have to I have to answer yes to that one. Nationalization is equally as bad as privatization. No, of course not. Strong disagree. Communes or similar should be allowed to act as gated communities for certain cultures. Yeah, I agree. Freedom of association. I went in this whole rant in an earlier segment tonight. So, yeah, I'm going to strong agree. They should be allowed to. Yes. Free markets are more efficient in resource allocations. Duh. A fair market is more ideal than a fully planned economy. Again, duh. Achieving socialism through electoral means is ideal. I'm going to agree on this. It's definitely better than a violent revolution, that's for sure. Reforming capitalist society to achieve basic rights for workers is a desirable and realistic goal. Jeez, I'm gonna simply disagree. It's not realistic, that's for sure. Negative consequences of a revolution, such as devastation of land, tolls, blah blah, generally outweigh the positives. Yeah, yeah, of course. I don't want a revolution. I don't want a violent revolution. So I'm going to strongly agree. Any violence against undesirable people is acceptable as long as it helps a revolutionary motion. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you? Revolution is the most successful and ideal way of achieving a progressive society. I'm going to simply disagree. Marx's concept of from each according blah, 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 to each according to their need is good principle we should abide to. No, I'm actually just going to disagree. Like, it's not completely crazy. It's just completely fantasy land. Disagree. Liberal democracy is a viable way to achieve a socialist society. I don't know. Oh yeah, okay. Voting your way to socialism. I'm just gonna partially disagree on this one because I don't want to answer neutral. A society should rather gradually progress into a socialist society. No. Oh wait, this is compared to revolution. Now I get it. So yeah, I'm assuming this. I'm saying it out loud now. So yeah, I would rather gradually progress into a socialist society than a violent revolution. So I'm going to agree. A planned economy based around computers is a concept worth investigating. No, fuck you. An economy is generally designed better when it is organized bottom up rather than top down. Yeah, of course. Yes, strong agree. A world socialist republic is a realistic and desirable goal. Holy shit. No. Nationalism and patriotism are reactionary impulses that are unacceptable in a socialist society. Well, yeah, logically, it just follows, like, by the definition. So I'm simply going to agree. I have no dog in that fight. I don't like either one. But yeah. Foreign officials, especially socialist or progressive officials, have no right to dictate policy in another country. Wait, huh? Foreign officials have no right to dictate. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what sovereignty is. So I'm going to strongly agree. The global socialist movement is too wide and diverse to be led by a single party organization. Absolutely. Like, no matter what you think of socialism, that must be true. Trade unions or worker councils should form the basis of a socialist society. I'm gonna agree with this. Like, if I was to live in a socialist society, I'd rather like it be the actual theory of like worker-owned means of production and that shit. So I'm gonna simply agree. Minority populations have the right to receive special legal protections and rights. I'm going to simply disagree. I understand the sentiment, but no, hate crimes are bullshit. People of similar cultures, like the Kurds, have the right to unite into autonomous federations and confederations. Freedom of association, baby, strong agree. Minority populations have the right to self defense and to bear arms, doesn't matter situation. Hell yeah. The right to bear arms is essential to the socialist movement, and any restriction of it should be fought against, even by violent means if necessary. I'm actually going to strong agree on this. You gotta flex your right to bear arms, your right to self-defense. I'd be happier if a modern day America preserved its original ideals of individual liberty and freedom. Yeah, yeah, of course. I'm going to strong agree. If I lived in in an anarcho-capitalist society, I'd rather contribute to increase cooperative power. Well, I'm going to disagree, but I totally respect people who would. The free market distributes resources between different parties in an unfair manner, favoring capitalist corporations. Oh man, I hate to agree with this, but I gotta. Uh, like I people right of center would argue that the world we live in don't have a free market, and they'd be correct, but that's what they mean by this question. Instead of hitting you with the not real capitalism memes, I'm gonna actually agree with this. Any market system will inevitably allow harmful monopolies for the consumers to form and take over. Wait, harmful monopolies for the consumers to form and take over. I'm just gonna disagree. Like it no, it not necessary. Like we have oligopolies and shit, but I'm still gonna disagree. Since libertarian rightists are essentially followers of bourgeois capitalism, there is no logical reason why I should ally with such pigs. Fuck you too, bitch. Fuck you too. Strong disagree. An ANCAP society is either taken over by cooperative systems or will reform into a corporatocratic state. Both ends are essentially not ideal. Um, I'm going to wait. Yeah, so this is saying that Ancapistan would either be overrun by worker co-ops or corporations. Um, I'm going to simply disagree. Even if man, a lot of ANCAP questions now. Even if an ANCAP area would form into a corporate dictatorship, we can still bear arms and fight since the dictator has a weak fist. Absolutely. That's the idea. Decentralize everything, baby. Socialism is a gradual process, not a rapid one. Agree. A minarchist society is preferable to over complete anarchy. I'm going to partially disagree. I wish I could disagree stronger, but in integrity, I can't. Partial. The state will eventually wither away, leading the people into forming a communist society. Oh, Jesus Christ. Read more theory. Strong disagree. Communism is too utopian and unrealistic. It's better to stop at socialism. If you can, I'm going to simply agree. A centrally planned economy is needed to develop third world countries. No, strong disagree. A highly centralized economy is not state socialism, but rather corporatism, as the workers don't even indirectly own the means of production. Let me reread that. Jesus Christ, leftists are so wordy. A highly centralized economy is not state socialism, but rather corporatism. I think this is a case where ANCOMs and ANCAPs agree. I'm going to agree on this, assuming I understand it correctly. A mutual aid based society is significantly better than a traditional socialist state. I'm going to partially agree because I don't know enough about mutualism, but I hear a lot of really cool takes from mutualists. So partially agree. And the final result is. Ooh. Okay, so first of all, let me scroll to the bottom here. Ooh, social democracy, cringe. But actually, I cringe, but I just answered the question. Let's see. Let's take a closer look at this. So, Um, in the radicality axis, I'm neutral. Yeah, lib unity over left unity. I went over this. I'm not sure where this 25% comes from. Uh, I'm also not sure where the 36% comes from. Probably because of all the tepid, lukewarm shit that let all that fucking unbased centralizing creep in. This is why extremism has an argument. Okay, people? Never compromise is the takeaway from that 33% right there. 36. Okay. Yeah, I do prefer locals, so that's fine. Uh, I guess by leftist standards, I am a conservative. I'll take that. Given the test, I'm fine with that. Uh, I'm a centrist here. That's fine. And I don't know where this 22% plan came from, but yeah, I like this. So I was expecting to be a market socialist. Turns out I'm a social democrat. And yeah, listen, if you have any thoughts, let me know below. I'm really curious to know what you think. And give this video a like. I do these live streams every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Hey, only 3 minutes past the hour. Thank you so much to the three of you who are still here for sticking around. Francois, you are correct. It's probably when I share my full screen that I fill out my buffer. Like at the beginning of the stream, I mentioned how the latency wasn't just low; it was ultra low. So those two extremes probably came to a head in a hardcore way. So yeah, lesson learned. Thank you again for sticking around. Um, Obviously, I'm not going to extend this as much as I would love to play Stardew Valley. I'm already 4 minutes past the hour. Thank you so much again for sticking around. Let me just, I'll tab to my music player here. There we go. All right. Oh, if you could like this live stream, it would really help me out. I see already one of them. And if you're still watching, why not? It helps me out a lot. But regardless, I hope to see you again here next week. And yeah, thanks for watching.